If you believe in justice, freedom of speech, or simply want to understand how power works in Africa, then this is the conversation you cannot afford to ignore. Please like, share, comment below with your thoughts, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel and follow the page for more critical breakdowns of issues that matter. The trial of Nnamdi Kanu is not just about a man or a movement, it's about a system being tested. It's a spotlight on Nigeria's justice system, governance, and how dissent is managed in a fragile federation. As content creators, storytellers, and ordinary citizens, we must pay attention to how this story unfolds. Whether you support Kanu, oppose his methods, or stand somewhere in the middle, one thing is clear: this trial is a landmark case. It forces us to ask tough questions about our constitution, about accountability, and about how power is exercised in the name of national security. Since 2015, the Nigerian state has battled Kanu both legally and politically. His message has been labeled dangerous, his movement tagged a terrorist group. Yet millions still listen to him, follow him, and act on his words. That says something, not just about Kanu, but about the vacuum of leadership many feel in the Southeast. As a content creator, I view this case through multiple lenses: legality, politics, and the role of media. Nnamdi Kanu used media, especially Radio Biafra, as his battleground. And let's be honest, he was effective. He bypassed mainstream gatekeepers and built a digital nation long before his vision of Biafra could materialize on any map. The government's response, especially the now infamous extraordinary rendition from Kenya, violated international law. That's not opinion, that's what a Kenyan court ruled. Yet here we are, 4 years later, still debating his right to a fair trial while he remains in DSS custody, largely isolated. And now, as the court prepares to rule on his no-case submission this October, we're at a legal crossroads. If the prosecution's evidence fails to hold up, Kanu walks free, at least on this charge. But if the court insists he must open his defense, the trial could drag for years. What happens next will echo far beyond the courtroom. Let's not forget, over 170 security personnel were reportedly killed during the height of IPOB's agitation. That's a tragic loss. But has the government proven, without bias or manipulation, that these deaths were the direct result of Kanu's broadcast? Or are we using Kanu as a symbol to suppress broader unrest? For young people, especially those from the Southeast, this case represents more than legal drama. It's about identity. It's about feeling ignored, even punished, for asking difficult questions about Nigeria's structure, fairness, and direction. And here's what makes this case even more complicated: the same government prosecuting Kanu continues to negotiate with so-called repentant terrorists in the north. This double standard is part of why his supporters view the trial as political rather than legal. Let's be clear, no government survives without enforcing law and order. But order must be just, and justice must be transparent. If Kanu is truly guilty, let's see the evidence. Let's see victims testify. Let the process be public, honest, and swift, not buried in technicalities or secrecy. As content creators, we're not just observers, we are witnesses. We shape how people interpret these events. We owe it to our audience to go beyond the surface, to ask why one voice can ignite so much fear, hope, anger, and loyalty. That's not just about law. That's about leadership. And speaking of leadership, where are the voices from the Southeast in all this? Beyond lawyers and activists, what about governors, senators, cultural leaders? Silence or indifference at a time like this speaks volumes. You cannot build a nation on silence and selective outrage. My message isn't that Kanu is a saint or a villain. My message is that we need clarity, consistency, and courage in our courts, our media, and our leadership. And that's something every Nigerian should demand, regardless of ethnicity or ideology. Because if this trial becomes just another show trial, if it ends up being remembered for its politics rather than its principles, we all lose. The lesson won't be about justice. It will be about what happens when a state is more interested in optics than fairness. So again, I invite you to be part of this conversation. Drop a comment below with your honest thoughts. Share this video or post with someone who needs to hear it. Like and subscribe so we can continue having real, respectful discussions on the issues that define our time. Let's raise the standard together.